How Gay is the great pop culture debates minisode devoted to the gayest music video. It's so gay I couldn't even be bothered to write the script on time. So fuck it. I've got a cocktail in my hand and a serious case of resting bitch face, so we're just gonna skip the foreplay and go straight to the penetration. Welcome to the great pop culture debate on the gayest music video ever. I'm so gay I can sit on a popsicle and tell you what flavor it is. I'm your host, Eric Resniak. Please welcome my amazing panel for this episode. He's almost too gay to function. It's Curtis Creekmore.
Hey, that's only okay when I say it.
Oh. Next, don't call her a fag hag. She's a fruit fly, thank you very much. It's Carissa Kloss.
Hello, although I will answer to drag hag.
We like that. And he fell out of the gay tree, hit every gay branch on the way down, landed on a gay guy, and then, listeners, he did him. Please welcome back Michael Barber.
Well, I just couldn't help it, Eric. He was standing there lumberjacking.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time. All right. Our minisodes work a little differently than our regular episode. There's only one part, and we don't have a public poll. Our panelists make their personal picks on a specific topic. We mix them all together and create a 16-seed bracket. Then we argue about it and insult each other, all for your amusement. If you want to follow along at home, you can find the bracket for this episode, as well as all our debates, in the polls and brackets section of greatpopculturedebate.com. If you want to check out the videos we're debating here, as well as literally dozens more that we discussed but which didn't make the bracket, check out our Gayest Videos Ever playlist on our YouTube channel. We recommend viewing it with a bottle of lube and your popper brand of choice. First, a few words on this topic. When we say gayest music video ever, we mean that as a compliment, folks. This panel, this whole podcast actually, is made up almost entirely by gay men and the women who love them. And we love you for loving us, and they love us for loving them.
Yes, we do.
That's right.
That's a Chicago thing for all of the people who don't know that.
All you uncultured swine. So when we say something is super gay, we say that with pride. How our panelists determined a video's gayness was strictly personal. Some of us from the slut American demographic tended to go for overt sexuality. Some of us went for songs and videos by straight artists that have been embraced by the gay community. And some of us went for more powerful, serious message videos. Speaking of video selection, I did want to address something that came up as the panel was finalizing our top 16, representation. As we made our final picks, we discussed the fact that we did not want this to be all cis white men and women. We wanted to make sure that we included artists of color and artists from the entire LGBTQ spectrum. But we also didn't want it to feel tokenistic. In the end, our top 16 includes 6 artists that are either solo women or women-fronted acts, 5 artists of color, and at least 10 of the 16 have publicly identified themselves as LGBTQ. Did anyone else on the panel want to speak to the issue of representation here?
Sure, I'll say something. I guess I was just surprised as I was trying to assemble my list of top gay music videos for this. That I had a few that ultimately immediately came to mind, and then plus I went on Google to kind of look up lists of top gay music videos to see what other people had to say. And when I had my list all assembled, I was really surprised by how many cis white male artists were there, and I had to actively go Googling for top lesbian gay music videos or top music videos featuring trans issues to find kind of a diversity of music videos in my list.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. I will say that I did something similar. Believe it or not, we actually do homework. We do actually look these things up and try to come to it with some thought process behind it. And I found a bunch of videos that I had never seen, never heard of before. There was one I think I sent to you, Carissa, that was a Duran Duran video from early in their career. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
I can't even recall what it was called, but it was, yes, it was through the male lens. And they were lipstick lesbians, which were completely ridiculous. But I was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, they're in leather cat suits in a parking garage or something. Yeah. But the song is terrible.
Terrible.
Which I think will probably come up along this. But that was one of my criteria too, was even if the video is pretty gay, is the song good? Are you gonna, if the music's not good, you're not going to watch the video.
Right. And I agree with that completely. And there were several I can use off the top of my head. It was called Muscles by Diana Ross, which falls very strictly into the Olivia Newton-John physical area. It is a amazingly gay video. If you have not watched it, please go check it out. It will be on the playlist. But it's a terrible song, and it's just not very good. It's so cheaply made. It's amazing. Like, I want to do a podcast all about that video. I need to talk to Diana Ross. I need her to explain to me the journey of how, as a 40-something-year-old woman, someone convinced her to make this. But to the point about representation specifically, I agree, Michael. There wasn't a ton, especially of people of color and of trans artists. But when I look at the ones we did end up choosing, I find most of the ones from people of color and from the trans community, or at least dealing with the trans community, are from like the last 4 to 5 years. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So it makes me feel as though we are changing and we are getting better. I hope so. And I think we can all admit, again, since most of us are members of the LGBT community on this podcast, that our own community really does suffer from prejudices involving race and trans issues. There's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Within our own community, there's a lot of discrimination. And I'm hopeful that we are in a point in history where we're working to change that. Does anybody else want to say anything else on representation?
I do, actually. I want to talk a little bit about the women in this, because I did look for, like, I looked at Autostraddle and saw what they were talking about for lesbian videos that they like. I checked them all out. A lot of them felt very, like, as much as like Shakira and J-Lo and Rihanna and Britney, like, are stunning in their videos, and there's definitely some lesbian imagery and such. It all ultimately felt really male gaze-y. Like, it's not for lesbians, it's not made by lesbians, it's made for a probably hetero male audience to observe. And it just felt that felt kind of gross to me. And so even though I put some of those videos on my long list, a lot of them didn't come forward toward the bracket because it just ultimately didn't feel authentic to me.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. I do want to say this, that if you're sitting there listening to this, first of all, sorry to bum you out. This is supposed to be a fun up and I swear we're getting there. I swear to you. But if there are videos of artists of color and lesbians and trans artists who you're like, these videos deserve more recognition, please come to this article on greatpopculturedebate.com or send us stuff on social media, because we'll include them in that playlist. We'll just add them. We want to get more eyeballs on those types of videos. That's what we're all about. So anybody else have anything they want to add on this?
I do have another note just about lesbian artists. Like, I'm a really big fan of Tegan and Sarah, but I don't think a lot of their videos come across as gay to me in like my criteria that I used for this bracket, because they're really just like normalizing gay people in their lives. You know, it's like teenagers making out on a trampoline, which I love, but like that's not Cher in a see-through leather-ish catsuit, you know? So just that, like, I did, like, Tegan and Sarah have a lot of really great videos that go with their music that comes from a lesbian perspective, but I didn't think that they came across to me as gay, so I didn't pull them forward.
And there's a whole debate, not like what we're doing, but an actual culture debate about whether or not having quote unquote gay and lesbian videos matters. Why aren't we just normalizing all of it? Like, as you said, two teenage girls making out on a trampoline shouldn't necessarily be, that's a gay video. It's just a music video. And I think
yeah. And I think we'll get to that in the bracket too.
I think so too. So anybody else have anything else to say about that? No. We're good. Okay, so sorry for the boner killers. With that said, let's lock the door, lower the blinds, and fire up the smoke machine, because we're going to have a Kiki. Spoiler, Let's Have a Kiki almost made the top 16, but it was a last-minute cut. Don't hate us because we're beautiful. Hate us because we're bitches. Our first matchup, I was the lone holdout of the labia majority that preferred Janelle Monáe's Pink to Madonna's Express Yourself. Michael, please direct us to Janelle's G-spot while I express my opinions on my girl.
I would love to, Eric. So what I love about this video, I think, speaks to a lot of what Carissa was just saying. I feel like this video is not just about sexuality as objectification, like so many sexy music videos are, including, I think, some that still made this bracket. This video is about really owning sexuality, specifically in this case, lesbian, bi, queer sexuality. It doesn't talk about gay sexuality either as anything taboo, something that only exists behind closed doors like a lot of other videos do. I feel like a lot of videos just give you that suggestion of gay, but no, right off the bat here, you get giant, fabulous pink vagina pants in your face.
Everything.
Exactly. I also feel like, to Carissa's point earlier, way too often music videos, when you do see women in intimate or sexual situations with other women, it's really done for the benefit of like male oogling and fantasizing rather than like a celebration of queer feminine sexuality. But this video has nary a man in sight, and it's 110% celebration of that queer feminine sexuality. One of the women in the video has bold letters over her lady bits, "I grab back," which obviously is reference to the Cheeto in chief and what he's said about pussy grabbing. This video is fun. It's gay pop. It's got fashion, and it's just a celebration and ownership of gay identity. And I love it.
So let me be the first to say that I have absolutely no problem unanimously putting forward Pink because it is amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite videos of that entire album, and I think Janelle's a genius. But I wanted to speak for Madonna because we couldn't really do a gay music video bracket without having Madonna on here. Several of us nominated different Madonna videos. Vogue was also in there. But ultimately we went with Express Yourself. And I'm just going to read for you the notes that I wrote down for myself while watching the video again recently. And that's all I'm going to do. David Finker's homage to Metropolis and being a cock tease. Gay Fight Club. I think Gay Fight Club says it all. Shirtless calisthenics in the rain. This bitch invented the ring light. Gender-bending power suit vibes, including a monocle. She has the musicians from Mambo No. 5 trapped in a glass cage. It is the most stylish decor I've ever seen in a music video. You know that apartment was decorated by a gay man. And satin sheets are very romantic, but let's also throw in some bondage chains. So with that said, that's all I'm going to say about Express Yourself. I do think it is an incredibly, like most Madonna videos are gay music videos in and of themselves, right? But for me, that was the one that stood out. I think we're all in unanimous agreement that we're moving forward with Janelle Monáe, though, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Love you, Madonna. Next up, 3/4 of us were on our knees to service George Michael's Outside, while Carissa assumed the position for Samwell's What in the Butt. Carissa, why don't you guide us into your thought process?
This is like, I'm totally fine with this not moving forward. But I, like you, I picked this because I wanted to talk about it. When I found out I was going to get to be a panelist for this episode, my first thought was Samwell, what? Because this is like a weird nostalgia pick for me. And it came out in 2007, but it's just like, it's so gay. It's so gay. I mean, it opens with like his mouth in the center of like a chocolate heart, and there's a pink blimp flying over, and he's got those like stoned pants that say what on the pockets, and he's making the eyebrows. It's so dumb, and I just love it because it's stupid and it's so overtly gay, and it was such a cultural moment when it happened. Like South Park spoofed it, and I just like that was immediately where my brain went, and so I just had to bring it forward.
So I'm going to ask the other two homosexuals on this podcast, had either one of you ever seen this video?
Yes, I definitely had.
No, I had not.
That's so interesting.
And Carissa, it was a delight. It was such a delight to watch. I sat there with my mouth like half open in one of those dazes, watching it like, this exists. Like, it's incredible. Even his facial features and like the way he reacts to things in this song, it is like, if you look up the textbook definition of gay face, there's Samwell in the what video. It's amazing.
Like making the eyebrows and yeah.
It's so good. And also I thought it was really like, I'm assuming, I don't know Samwell's background. Does anybody here know Samwell's background?
No.
Not really. He's American, which I thought he was French for some reason.
I was also picking up an accent, so I was assuming maybe he's from like the Caribbean or something, which being that out in that community is not easy, even especially like almost 15 years ago. So regardless, I thought it was a hoot, and I really thank you for bringing it forward. That said, there's absolutely no way I'm going to vote against George Michael's Outside. And I'm going to throw it to Curtis to speak on George and all of his glory holes.
And I know that I'm not going to do nearly as good of a job as you would have, Eric. So please feel free to jump in, because really this is me railing against the other song and less of a support for Outside. I did not enjoy it. I hadn't seen it before. I had actually heard the what in the butt from South Park, like that being a thing. And I thought, and Carissa, you probably know more than I do. I tried to look it up. I thought the South Park thing came first from the years that I saw, but
no,
whatever.
It was after. Yeah, it's Butters like does a spoof video. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. The lyrics are awful. The video is awful. The song is awful. I tried, I really did. I tried to listen to it because I didn't want to come and be in the negative Nancy that I am so good at being, but I just couldn't. The video isn't even all that gay to me. Like, yeah, I get the chocolate heart and I get the blimp, but then beyond that, it's literally him standing in front of a camera for a while. And the gayest moment to me was two people with censor bars bumping asses. And there are other, like, on Outside, the video that I'm supposed to be supporting includes disco ball urinals and men kissing in a bed of a truck, just like how I lost my virginity in the middle of a Kentucky forest on prom night. So I couldn't not vote for that.
Yeah. I still love what, and again, I'm so grateful for you bringing it into my life. I understand everything Curtis is saying. It's not a good video, but the fact that it exists is amazing, which I think makes it, girl, it was camp, right?
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, but in a delightful way. Michael, where are you coming down on this one?
I'm sticking with George Michael. I just feel like there's a lot more to what gayness is than what goes in your butt. But
Fair enough. And I will speak on Outside going forward. I have a lot of thoughts on that video. It was actually a really important moment for me in my own coming out journey. So our third matchup was evenly split between Icona Pop's Ballroom Fantasia All Night and Olivia Newton-John's iconic pop single Physical. Michael, why All Night?
Okay, so this video is set at a drag ball. If that is not gay enough for you, then I don't know what is. So drag ball culture is like the source of so much of really what we take for granted for nowadays in the gay community, like in terms of the way we talk, the way we dress, the way we even like interact and socialize with other gay people. It's just a huge influence and like a big reason why we even have RuPaul's Drag Race, which, you know, has become like gay religion for so many of us as queer people. Anyway, so I feel like this video is just a celebration of those roots. And Icona Pop even said they were inspired by Paris is Burning for this video. The video features the House of Ninja from the New York ball scene, like an actual house. Gay culture would just not be what it was today without ball culture. And so many gays don't even know about like the ball scene. So I love that this video is highlighting it.
All right. And Carissa, why Physical?
This one was really hard for me because I agree with everything that Michael said. But Olivia Newton-John in like a Terry sweatband headband thing, like it's so great. It's so dumb. Like this is another like really dumb video where it's just like guys in Speedos and oily bodies. Like you hardly even see their faces. They're just like on the bike, you know, moving it. And there's a moment where somebody's doing like a 3-strand resistance band thing and it becomes an air guitar.
Yes.
It's just so dumb. I couldn't help but love it. Although I will say that it did make me feel a little weird because there's kind of like this fat shaming part of it that I was just like, why do we need that? You know, it's just like bodies working out and her doing like exercise stuff. But it is also, I think, filmed with the RuPaul's Drag Race Season 1 filter. It's just like Vaseline on the lens. So
true. Curtis, where are you coming down on this one?
So I actually chose, I had Physical on my top, whatever we had to give you. Like that was one of my top videos. And then after watching All Night, I was like, this is the new thing. Like, ball culture is everything that Michael said. Ball culture is the culture that we have now. We have appropriated it and made it our own in a couple different ways. I really like physical. I love looking at male bodies. I also agree with the fat shaming piece, but I think what I realized after thinking about it is physical kind of makes being gay a joke almost, because the only time that you actually see a gay couple is at the very end when they walk off into the sauna together, which is a very real thing. But
Speak from experience.
a bit from experience, but I couldn't vote for it after that. Like it was the 80s. I get that it was a different time, but I'm throwing all of my hefty pounds behind All Night.
So it's so interesting because even before we decided to do this bracket, I think we were doing another one. I was like, oh, Olivia Newton-John's Physical is the gayest music video ever. Like, I think if you go back to like season 0, I even say something like that. And I recently rewatched the video, and everything that everybody here is saying is correct. When we got to the fat shaming, which is like really upfront and very in your face in this video, I was like, oh, I'm not okay with this. Like, this is not okay. However, you mentioned that it's from a different time, and the fact that that video was made in like 1984, 85, maybe even earlier is astonishing. And that it ends with not 2 guys, like several pairs of men hooking up and going into a sauna. And that was on MTV and was like everywhere. Like that song was hugely influential. There were an entire like row of videos that were inspired by Olivia Newton-John's Physical. What was the other one that was also, I almost made mine, Too Many Men, So Many Men, So Little Time by Mikkel Brown is physical, except like the disco version of it. As I mentioned, Diana Ross's Muscles before, like it inspired an entire like musical subgenre of sweaty muscle guys flexing for the camera. And that is nothing. That's totally gay. Like, who else was watching those videos for that? Do you think women are interested in muscular, oily bohunks the way that, like, Carissa? Obviously, you're not canceling.
I mean, yes. Yes. I used to watch so many exercise videos when I was growing up. So yeah.
This is why we're friends. I really do think like there was something amazingly counterculture about this video. It was so popular and it was really daring for its time. And I'll give you a heads up right now. There are several other videos later in the bracket that I'm giving an edge because the fact that they did that at the time that they did it is really shocking. I'm not going to knock Iconopop's All Night. Video is great. It is fucking fabulous. It is fierce. You're correct. And like, this is the culture that is very much the kids of today. They've co-opted that ball culture from the 80s. Love to see it. Amazing. More of that, please. But was there anything daring about that video right now? No. It's not making any statements, just fucking fabulous. Also, shout out to Queen Naomi, who's now on HBO Max's Legendary, which is the ballroom thing. She's in that video. If you're like, which one's Naomi? She's the one like whipping herself around like a goddamn fish out of water towards the end. She's amazing. If you haven't watched her videos, please do so. Educate yourself. I'm still going to vote for Physical here. I actually think I had it going all the way to the end, strictly because I think it was such an audacious video for its time. It's definitely hugely problematic. I'm not going to deny any of that. But it is, I think, filmed from a gay male perspective in like 1985, when you would be having the shit kicked out of you on the street if people thought you were a faggot, right? So that's why I'm sticking with it. Is everybody else, where are you going, Carissa?
I was torn, but I am with you on Physical because I think your case about it being forward thinking for its time gives it the edge for me. But this is a really hard choice for me because I think they're both really great.
Both awesome. Are you boys still sticking with Iconopop?
Yeah, I mean, I'd also, like Curtis, had Physical in my top 15 picks. It is uber gay. So I can see why it's moving forward. I think what, was the deciding factor for me was the fat shaming. Like, we get enough of that on apps and Grindr in the gay community. I didn't need more of it in my music videos.
Totally. And please, I hope no one is thinking that I'm at all supporting fat shaming. It's a major blemish on that video, and I do not support it in any way. Curtis, where are you on this?
Fuck it. I'm going back to Physical because
God damn it, Curtis.
I'm sorry. You brought me over with this was the 80s, and I said it was a joke, but I think that's how she got away with it.
Right.
And sometimes, like, especially in that time, that's how you had to get away with it to get your message out there. Just like some of the other things along the way, like it had to be kind of funny. It had to be a joke in order to get on MTV in front of those eyes to show that it was okay to be gay. Like Olivia was your friend. So you brought me back.
All right. And I also do want to bring up something Chris has said. Olivia Newton-John is so gorgeous in this video. Oh my God. Like with that cute haircut and she's all like dewy and the bandana. Ugh, amazing.
And
So
she's
good.
got like those like borderline 80s, 90s, like it's not like acid neon from the 90s, but it's like brighter jewel tones or whatever carried over. It's like hot pink pants and like a blue, like a, you know, gorgeous like royal blue leotard or something. It's so like an 80s exercise videos, which, you know, my mom had a whole lot of. So I watched a lot of Jane Fonda.
And those videos were in and of themselves super gay. Like Olivia could have just been in that ensemble and be like, this is a gay fucking video. But anyway, so we're advancing Olivia Newton-John with the caveat that we love that Iconopop video and celebrate it. I was again the sole dissenter in the next match with 3/4 of us giving votes, props, likes, snaps to Todrick Hall's nails, hair, hips, heels, while I went for the neo-communist manifesto Go West by the Pet Shop Boys. Curtis, I'm going to have you go first. Why Todrick?
Eric, what the fuck? I don't want to say a whole lot because I think we have this going a lot further. So I don't want to like ruin anything. But this video has everything you could possibly ask for in a gay music video. There are nails, hair, hips, and heels. Like it is all there. You get what you pay for. The dancing is stunning. The song is actually super catchy. I had never heard it before until I was doing this research. Yeah, I know. I know.
Curtis.
I'm a bad gay, but I'm learning. So like when I was doing my research, that was the first time that I had actually heard this. And it's a really good song. It gives me like Get Me Bodied by Beyonce vibes. You know, the part where it's basically the bridge where she starts like Naomi Campbell walk, like that whole thing is, I hear it. I love it. I'm in.
For sure. And again, this is an example of, do I actually think Go West should advance over this? Absolutely not. No. But I want to talk about the video because I think we would be remiss in a gayest music video ever bracket to not give a nod to the Euro gay club sound of the 90s. It was, and it goes all the way back to when the Pet Shop Boys and Erasure and the rest of them were coming over with New Wave in the 1980s. That was, again, 1980s. It was so political to have these acts out there who were unapologetically gay. They were out. There was no question. You watch Chains of Love by Erasure, that man is suspended by his own faggotry. It's amazing. Culture Club, Boy George, existing at that time was a political statement. Dead or Alive, Pete Burns, like we were so fed in the 80s and we didn't even fucking know it. Like, and so if you go again to the playlist on YouTube, you will see a bunch of the videos I'm just referencing in there because they were all on my list initially. But I picked Go West because it is incredibly gay. Like it is not just, oh, this is gay because it's the Pet Shop Boys. It's gay because this video is fucking gay. You have like post-communist Russian gays. They're all muscled and they're shiny. They're waxed to within an inch of their lives, which is exactly what like the A gays look like in the late 90s, early 2000s. And they are ready to come to the free world to partake in our freedoms and our decadence and our buttholes. And then the Pet Shop Boys themselves, who are kind of giving you Devo, but like in Toad from Mario Kart cosplay. Like the whole, it's got this exquisitely corny, like early 2000s, late 90s CG. It's a terrible video, but it's great. And if you're at like the German sex club at 4 a.m. and you're high on ketamine and this song comes on, you're going to lose your mind. So do I think it's better than Todrick Hall's magnum opus? Absolutely not. But I wanted to talk about it because the Pet Shop Boys deserve some respect, as does Erasure, but that's another racket. Okay, so moving on, we have, it's another tie between Cher and her Steamboat Willies in If I Could Turn Back Time, and the Leather Bear Bunch writhing in St. Vincent's Fast Slow Disco. Michael, why should Cher fans not snap out of it?
Okay, I don't know how y'all could not vote for Cher in this bracket, because Cher, first of all, foremost, is just like ultimate gay icon. So does the video Turn Back Time have like as much of the steamy gay body writhing as this nonsense other video? No, but it's still more gay in my mind, and I'm going to explain. So I feel like this Cher video is basically showing you like every gay boy's wet dream fantasy concert. Like, imagine you get to go on this private concert on a ship with like all these penisy phallic cannons surrounded by hunky boys in sailor outfits who are definitely all totally gay as well. And it's fucking Cher, and she's giving you the performance of a lifetime, and maybe she like tosses her hair in your face, and I don't know, you could get like her autograph at the end of the show or something. It's like a once in a lifetime gay event. And then you compare that, a once in a lifetime Cher spectacular where you get to walk away with some very special gay memories, and you compare that with this other video that's like basically any Friday at your local leather bar where you're probably going to just be walking away with gonorrhea and crabs. And I'm going to take Cher. I'm sorry.
Okay, but gonorrhea and crabs are an essential part of a gay diet, so I don't know what you're talking about. No, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Curtis, go for it. You're going to talk to me about Fast Slow Disco.
It's Cher. You're still getting gonorrhea and crabs. Don't sue me, Cher. Sorry. Eric Resniak.
Sir.
A literal writhing pile of naked gay men. I am really disappointed in you that you would choose Cher over that. I was honestly one of the people that voted for Turn Back Time to get into this. Like, when you think of iconic gay videos, for some reason, Cher's video pops into your mind, but it's not gay. Cher is a gay icon. She is the gay icon, honestly. Like, she is the one. When you say the words, that's who you think of. But that video itself, there's nothing specifically gay about it that would make me think or vote for it over a video of literal writhing pile of naked gay men. Is it a torrid gay orgy? No, absolutely not. So I had to vote for Fast Slow Disco.
Couldn't remember the name.
I couldn't remember the name. I had never heard of the song. I had never seen the video. But when we were reading through these, because we want to make the right decision, we watched every single one of these videos. And when we watched that one, I was like, shit, that's gay.
Listen, you are not wrong. So I also had never heard the song or watched the video until I was putting together my bracket. And it took me straight to Boner Town. I was just like, boy, oi, oi, this is 100% my gay aesthetic. Like a pile of sweaty, panting leather cubs getting it on. And also St. Vincent is so hot in that video. Like, she's really sexy in it. But I'll tell you, Curtis, I watched it and I watched Turn Back Time, and I was like losing my little gay mind watching Turn Back Time again. I really was. Like, you are not wrong in that if you're talking about like weighing the scales, what is more obviously gay of this one video? Of course, St. Vincent says, but what like activated my internal gay sensors more, honestly, was Turn Back Time. It really did. It filled me up and it took me higher.
That's what Cher typically does.
It's Cher, bitch.
It's Cher, bitch. But it wasn't just because it was Cher. Like if I was watching Believe, I wouldn't have that reaction. Honest to God, I wouldn't. If I was watching some of even her, like her 70 stuff, and I love Disco Cher. I love Disco Cher. But for me, Turn Back Time is special. And it is different than her other videos. And I do think if you put Turn Back Time on in a gay bar at 1:00 in the morning, the bar will lose it. They will go crazy. Whereas if you put Fast Slow Disco on at a gay bar at 1:00 in the morning, it's going to be playing on the wall, and people are going to continue to make out and make poor life choices while it's unfurling.
I think that's unfair, to be honest, because then you get into the argument of like known music versus unknown music. And I think that does put like another, at least one tick in Cher's corner, because like Cher, the iconoclast, created this video that is known as like a gay iconic video. But it's hard. Like, I get what you're saying, because what you're saying is true. But if we're saying this is the gayest music video, and you're comparing the gayest branch of the American military and the Navy versus a literal gay orgy, I don't understand how we can't move forward with a gay orgy.
I will make the argument that I think Michael started to make, which is that if you actually look at per capita, the number of gay men in those videos, Cher's got more. I think there are more gay men in it. I'm not even joking. Like, it's hundreds of sailors, and statistically, how many of those men sucked a dick? I'm just going to go out there and say it.
You don't know
Yes.
that.
Oh, but we do.
But is Cher queer? Because St. Vincent is. She identifies as on the spectrum. She dated Cara Delevingne for like 2 years.
Yep.
She produced the last Sleater-Kinney album. I think it's fascinating to me that y'all are not super familiar with her, because like we stan her in the Glasshold. And when I told my husband I was doing this panel, he was like, well, you have to have St. Vincent on there. Fast Slow Disco is so fucking gay. And I was like, what? I had never seen the video either. So this was a suggestion from my cis white straight male husband.
Love it.
And I watched it and I was like, fuck yes. And she's in like leather pants and she's sweating. Like, okay, like, y'all are talking about like the male orgy, but we cannot discount how hot like Annie Clark, who is in relationships with women, is in this video as well. I think this ticks more boxes for me than the Cher video does. And that's my tipping point here.
You make a compelling argument. So let me go put it back to a vote. So are you, Curtis and Carissa, you are dead set on Fast Slow Disco?
Yes.
Yes.
Me.
Yep.
And Michael, you and I are still on Team Cher.
Yeah, I think it's blasphemy not to vote for Cher.
And again, I need to say to readers, to listeners, first of all, I do know St. Vincent, like, and I have several of her songs. I just somehow missed this one, and I don't know how, because I would think that people in my life would be like, hey, slut, have you watched that video? Because, like, that's basically you and your friends.
This is a remix. They made a video for the remix version. Like, this isn't even on the album. She did, like, a remix album.
Oh.
So, yeah. So it's, like, it's a weird kind of deep cut from the St. Vincent catalog, but they made a video of it, so it clearly was getting play.
So one of the things that my partner actually did point out as I was doing my research for this, because I'm watching it on the big TV, and there were videos that I was watching that I was like, this is super fucking gay. He's like, yeah, but nobody's ever heard of this song, Eric. You can't, like, put that on your list if nobody even knows it. Like, they have to have at least some cultural cachet. And I was like, I do think there is a validity to that argument. I'm really torn, because I love this video. I love this song. St. Vincent is great. St. Vincent is great in this. But it's Cher, If I Could Turn Back Time. And even though it is not in and of itself overtly gay, I find it incredibly gay as a video. The bitch is straddling gigantic cannons. Don't tell me that that's not, like, what we all wanted to be when we were, like, 11. We wanted to be Cher in those fishnets with visible ass tattoos in a leather jacket, like, twirling. And she's serving in that video. This is peak performance Cher, in my opinion.
It is. And she wears the sailor hat for a significant portion.
So cute.
Yeah.
But, like, Cher has gay energy, even if Cher herself is not gay. We can all agree with this, yes?
I mean, she made Chaz, right?
Sure.
Yep.
So I do believe that Cher, yes, she's a gay icon. Is she herself LGBTQ? No, but, like, I feel like she's almost been, like, enveloped by the community because she's one of us.
Yeah, and she's a supporter more than other claimed people who don't support the community.
So is anyone willing to budge on this?
No.
No.
Okay, so here's how the tiebreakers are going to work now after the debacle that was the Strut in That Ass song, which I regret deeply, and if I could re-record it, I would. But
I was there. It wasn't that terrible.
It was. She's being nice.
I mean, okay, they're strutting songs. Like, there's no bad answer. It's all an awesome playlist.
And the same thing is true for this. There's no bad answers on this list.
Yes.
So it's going to be a round-robin tiebreaker. I get the first one, and then it's going to go to each one of the other people. So for this one, I'm sorry, St. Vincent folks. I'm going to advance Cher. I'm going to do it. So hate me. It's fine.
how can you hate Cher or you for liking Cher? Like, no.
We all love Cher. That's uniting America right there. Cher for president.
I still feel like everybody wins here. Like I wanted St. Vincent to move forward, but I still love Cher.
Yeah,
of course.
And it's really gay. So
It is also, this is a complete like digression, but if you've never gone on Cher's Twitter, please treat yourself to it. Twitter is a fucking garbage dump, but Cher is hilarious, and she has some fierce clapbacks to haters. They're great. They're legendary. And I bet you she does it herself. Anyway, moving along. I am again the lone holdout supporting Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Ode to Unclenching Relax, while everyone else was pera, and supporting A.B. Soto's Cha-Cha Bitch. I will speak on Frankie, but Carissa, first I want you to talk about A.B. and his abs.
I'm so surprised you didn't pick this because, like, I just have a few words for you. Many sequin jumpsuits. How can you not? This video is so sparkly. I think he wears at least 8 different outfits in it. And this is one of the videos that I hadn't seen until we were doing the bracket. And when I was first watching it, I was cackling. It's great. It's so great. Like, there's the dancing, and it's a little, I mean, y'all aren't probably going to agree with a little ode to Samwell, how he, like, replicates himself in the background, also doing the dance. Like, Samwell fucking did that. And what? There's 3 of him. But it's so sparkly and it's so fun, and it made me honestly miss going to the club for the drag nights and the DJ and just like seeing people in outfits and dancing, and so I loved it. I thought it was great. It's super fun and adorable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the one who put this song on the list. And again, I'm only voting against it because I want to talk about Relax, and I'm not going to beat the dead horse, but the fact that this song exists in the 1980s, and it is a song that is clearly about taking a dick up your ass. Like, it's not even a little bit coded. It is a song about getting fucked. This video takes place in a leather bar. There are people licking bananas in it. There's this Caligula dude, like, looking down on all of the orgy that is spilling out in front of him. You've got some, like, early, really crunchy drag or trans folks. You got this absolutely amazing dominatrix who has the most resplendent mohawk into a mullet that I've ever seen. And then you have him like wrestling with a tiger. And I'm watching this again and you like, eat your heart out, Joe Exotic. This is the real Tiger King. There's like vague allusions to piss play. People are riding each other like animals. Like, this is the type of chaotic gay energy that was really resonating with me while I was putting together my list. So I understand why we're moving Cha-Cha Bitch forward, because I think everybody else is voting for Cha-Cha Bitch still, right?
I don't know. I just heard piss play and now I'm on the fence.
No, and Curtis's eyebrow is raised. He's like, excuse me. You're staying with Cha-Cha Bitch, Curtis?
Yeah, Cha-Cha Bitch.
To Carissa's point, I will take literally one of every outfit that A.B. Soto wears in this video because they're amazing. It is a delight of a video. Like, you were cackling, but I was just like, this is charming. Like, it's so fun.
The V-necks are cut to his waist. Like, yes. I can't wear that.
Carissa is making me a caftan. Like, you can go deep with that V-neck, mama. But like, in all seriously, like, I'm fine moving it forward. But I did want to pay respects to Frankie Goes to Hollywood and Relax, because it is a really out there, aggressive video from, again, the early 1980s. And the fact that it exists is really bold. So even if Michael changes his vote, we'd still be split. Curtis would be the tiebreaker. So I feel like it's going to go to A.B. Soto here.
Yeah, I was just kidding about the piss play.
I know you.
Don't take away my tiebreaker vote.
Well, that's fine. I will just say AB can up down my select start anytime. With that, we're going to move on to another even split, this time between 2 very different videos, Queen's I Want to Make Free and Rabel's The Village. Michael, can you explain why you chose The Village?
Yeah, so like, obviously this video, this song, very, very different from really all the other gay videos we're looking at right now. And while, yes, like all the dancing, the glitter, like all of the unapologetic sexuality in like these other videos is a big part of what it means to be gay for lots of gay people. But I feel like The Village gets at like another side of the LGBTQ experience that's really something so many of us have lived through, something that has shaped us as queer people. And that is the feeling of just being rejected by society, by the village. And then oftentimes it's like even being rejected by the ones closest to us, like in the video, who are supposed to be the ones loving us unconditionally. So many of us, as gay people, grew up being taught that there's something wrong with us. And this song, this video, it says, no, there's something wrong with the village. And like as a gay kid, that message would have meant absolutely everything to me because I didn't like who I was as a gay kid. I feel like this video is art. It is just poignant. It's powerful. It's hauntingly beautiful. And I don't think any song or music video has so consistently brought me to big gay tears as this video has. So it's very meaningful to me.
Carissa, why is Queen's Mercury Rising for you?
So, I had never seen the video for The Village. I'd never heard the song. And that video brought me to like full body sobs. It is stunning. It is beautiful. It's an incredibly powerful story. Like, I don't know how they did that in like 4 minutes. It's everything. And so my main quibble with that is that should be normal. And I don't particularly think that the trans journey has to be gay, but like it's such a quibble. So I have no problem with that moving forward because I think that this video needs a lot more eyes on it because it was, thank y'all for bringing it to my attention for real, because it moved me in ways that I was not expecting. But to talk about the Queen video, which is was a cultural moment a lot earlier, and I haven't seen the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, but I know that it's like a thing. Like they do the making of this video in the movie, and that it's like a thing because it was, as Eric has been pointing out, important for its time. I think category is Butch Queen, first time in drags, and I loved it. Like Freddie Mercury with those tiny, really high pointy boobs and like the bob with the mustache and the lipstick. Like it's just like, it made me really happy to see that. It kind of was like, I don't know, a little bit like the Iconopop video, like, which also made me really happy to watch. It's like, this is fun and this is cute. But it also has like shirtless Freddie Mercury in leather pants, which is also wonderful. And all of that weird, like, people in bodysuits, modern dance shit in the middle that is just so weird. And I thought that overall was just gayer to me than like, somebody like coming to their trans identity and trying to get the people around them to see it. But I have no problems with that moving forward because I really, really did love that video.
Yeah, so this is a super tough one for me. I left this one open as long as I could because they're both really good videos and really interesting and so different. So I had not seen The Village either. It is everything that Michael said it was. It's very moving. I think it's a story that's super important now. Like, we're in 2020 and the author of one of the biggest best-selling fiction series of all times, who we all assumed was an ally forever, is trying to delegitimize trans identities, right? Like, this is a very important message right now. I would argue that in its own way, I Want to Break Free was kind of doing a little bit of that in its time, in that Freddie was out, sure. I don't think Freddie was ever in. Like, you knew, right? Especially before he became like Butch Freddie, he was very much kind of feminine, etc. But I interpret watching that performance art piece that you mentioned, like, to me, I thought it was him talking. Like, I Want to Break Free is trying to get out of what society expects of him, and also like just this life, right, that could not have been easy for him or anyone else in his position at the time. I'm not going to say that their experiences are the same, because I think trans experiences are an entire like nth degree harder than what I have found to be the gay male experience, even coming through the 80s. But I thought they were both really powerful pieces. What it came down to for me, and this is another one where, Curtis, are you sticking with The Village?
Yep.
Yep. And so your tiebreaker is still in effect here. So you're probably going to take it. And I'm okay with that because, again, I'm good with this moving forward. But my thing was, I'm looking for videos that I want to watch over and over again. And The Village was what we did the Best Oscars one a couple weeks ago. I don't ever need to see Schindler's List again. I don't ever need to see 12 Years a Slave again. Like, at the end of The Village, yes, it has a quote unquote happy ending kind of, but I walked out of it being like, that poor person has so much more heartache and pain coming their way, and it bummed me out. So that's why I was like, for this category, that wasn't what I wanted to put forward. With that being said, it's a completely valid choice, and it is 100% valid of being on this list, and it should move forward. I have no problem with it. So
that's fucking life, Eric. I mean, you know that. You know that that's life for all of the queer community. Like, it's not a happy story. And again, boner killer, if you got it back up, or I'm about to kill it again. Like, thanks for listening to our podcast. But the queer experience is not happy. It's not easy. And I think it's just as important to have videos that you never want to watch again. I never want to watch Precious again.
Sure.
Because it was so difficult to watch, but it was so important to watch. And just like Michael and Carissa both said, this video is so important to see right now because this is life. This is what so many of us are living through. And there are a ton of people in various areas throughout the United States and the world that don't realize that this is what's going on. And that's why, like, we were supposed to sing this. For those of you who don't know, I'm in the Boston Gay Men's Chorus. I met my husband, Michael, who is standing beside me in the Boston Gay Men's Chorus. I met my best friend, Eric, who's on this podcast with me in the Boston Gay Men's Chorus. And we were supposed to perform this song. That's how we actually learned about it for this last concert that was canceled because of COVID. And now we're all in quarantine. So we didn't even get the satisfaction of performing it and crying multiple times. So by God, it's moving forward.
I also think that, like, as much as this was a really hard watch for me, like, I like legit on the floor sobbing, like, wow, that took 4 minutes. You know, I think we have to watch it. It's important that we watch it and that we probably see it more than once. Like, deciding to look away is privilege, and it's up to us to push through discomfort. And I know that that Eric also watched it and pushed through it, and, you know, all of that. So I'm just saying, for everybody, like, this is the things that I find uncomfortable are the things that I'm leaning into right now, because that is what's important.
That is completely fair. And I hear everything you're saying. It has to be watched, and we're moving it forward to the next round. I just, in terms of like videos that, again, I want to go to as these are my gayest music videos. I know that gay life and trans life is suffering. I don't need to be reminded of it, right? Like, I'm fully embodying that. But that being said, we're moving it on to the next round. So we will continue to debate this. We are closing out round one with one more tie, RuPaul's Geronimo versus Mick Jagger and David Bowie's Dancing in the Streets. Curtis, I will let you defend what is often referred to as the gayest video of all time by the straights, created by two ostensibly straight men. And Michael, you'll defend Geronimo.
This, to me, was the gayest video without being gay. And that means something to me. So you have these two absolute rock stars of their time who were not out. Neither of them were openly gay. I don't know if at that point either of them were openly even bi. But there is a very apparent and visual tension between the two of them throughout the video, especially in some, like, the it doesn't matter what you wear part of the song where they're face to face and they're singing to each other and they're being all fun. They're definitely, like, close enough to kiss, and there's a visible, like, you can see the energy between them. But honestly, like, Bowie's jumpsuit alone should push this through to the next round. Like, that full-on pattern jumpsuit with a full trench coat, it's cinched at the waist, like, bitch. That's gay.
It's fucking gay. All right, Michael, Geronimo.
Okay, so I feel like while Dancing in the Street is like, oh, a cute suggestion of being gay, Geronimo is what I want in a gay music video. What could be more gay than a drag queen, men twerking, skimpy underwear bulges as a result of that skimpy underwear, and jump ropes. Oh my God. I feel like this video has it all, and it's like nonstop from, the first second to the finish. And I would challenge any straight man to watch this video and not feel like just a little bit gay at the end from all of the fantastic booty bouncing. It's like a video that I want to come on when I'm at the gay club. I feel like a lot of gay culture is centered around the gay clubs, or like it used to be before pandemic anyways. And this video takes me there. I feel like I can literally smell the vodka crayons and the poppers when I'm watching this video.
Amazing. All right. Well, where are you coming down on this one, Carissa?
I'm with Geronimo. This was my pick. I brought this to the bracket. I don't know if anyone else did, but I brought this to the bracket, and I love this video just because there's no pretense. It's RuPaul singing a song in drag, and then like this guy twerking. I just love it. It makes me happy.
I think I initially had voted for Dancing in the Streets because from a cultural perspective, we literally, if you search gayest music video of all time in Google, this is the result.
Yep.
And it's a joke on Family Guy. Like as Curtis said, the sexual tension between them is palpable. And there were rumors that they were discovered in bed together by one of their ex-wives. I do think that Bowie had been openly bi, at least in the 60s and 70s. But at that point, I think if he wasn't married to Iman, he was dating Iman. Mind you, that said, Iman could turn any man straight. I mean, I think we can all go on record saying that. So I'm again finding myself torn, and I'm going to take the easy bitch way out and say I'm going to stick with Dancing with the Streets, and that means it's Carissa's tiebreaker vote. Yay, you get to have the hard decision.
So you're still using your bitch rules to get your way, is what you're actually saying.
I didn't get my way last time, did I?
No, you specifically didn't get your way so that you would get your way this time.
It's all planned out.
You give me way too much credit. No, you don't. It's all planned out. Carissa, go for it.
Yeah, definitely Geronimo. I'm using it. Drag queens forever.
Drag queens forever. All right, so that means Geronimo advances to round one. And with that, we are down to where everything ate. We're going to take a quick break to internalize all of our faults, and then we'll be right back to pretend that everything is just fine. And we are back with the second half of the Gayest music video ever mini-sode. I am joined again by my panelists, Curtis Creekmore, Carissa Kloss, and Michael Barber. We're going to jump right into the Elite Eight matchups, and I'm just going to go around the horn for votes, and we will debate further. First up, it's Janelle Monáe's Pink versus George Michael's Outside, and I'm going to throw it to Michael Barber first.
I'm still with Janelle Monáe on this. I feel like for me, it comes down to like the quality of the song here.
Oh, that is a read, but okay. Carissa.
2 words for you. Labia pants.
Yes!
I'm with Janelle.
The pants are amazing. Curtis?
Yeah, pants. Pussy pants.
Okay, fine. I'm now going to speak on George Michael's Outside because this is a hugely important video for me, and I'm not sure everyone understands the context behind this video. George Michael, we all understand, was one of the biggest pop stars in the world, right? We all know this. Wham, solo career, huge pop star. George Michael got busted in the early to mid 90s doing the great gay American pastime, which is blowing strangers in a public restroom. He got arrested by the police. He got the whole charges, everything. I don't think he went to prison, but he was given a pretty stern warning. His response to this and he didn't come out of the closet, he got ripped out of the closet, was this video, which is about people fuck outside. It's not that big of a deal. What's the big deal? And it is him really unapologetically owning his sexuality in a way that blew me away. At this point, I was like a late teenager. Maybe I was in college at this point, but like it was shocking as someone who had always respected and idolized George Michael as a pop star. For the younger gays out there who are unaware, please go back and listen to Older. Please go listen to Listen Without Prejudice. Please go back and listen to his whole catalog. He is an incredible singer, an incredible musician. It hurts my heart that we lost him so early. It really does, because he was so fucking talented. And then to have him be out and actually a gay icon. Like, he was out when Ricky Martin was still very much in the closet, and he was still a sex symbol. Like, he is so daddy AF in this video, and he works it. I understand the police thing right now is hugely problematic. You don't have to tell me twice, but like, George Michael in fucking police gear, getting funky in a disco bathroom, that is like the gayest thing I've ever seen, and I was living for it. So for me, I love Janelle Monáe. Pink's great. I'm not mad if it advances, but God damn it, you cannot discount how important this video was. And I still think it's a great video to this day. I still think it totally holds up. So is everybody else sticking with Janelle Monáe?
Yeah, but so I watched a lot of gay videos in the last couple of weeks. Is this the one where he like snaps his fingers and the urinals flip around and there's like yeah.
Yes.
I loved it. It was great. But yeah, the labia pants.
It is a fucking great video, and it's got something for everybody. You've got men on men, you've got women on men, you've got pregnant brides with their husbands, you've got an old dominatrix with her young sub, like, and everybody's having sex. It was a very sex positive video, and it was 100% for me. So, okay, we're going to move forward with Janelle Monáe. I will respectfully disagree. You're all wrong. Next up, it was Olivia Newton-John's physical versus Todrick Hall's nails, hair, hips, heels. Curtis, which one are you?
Todrick. I have to give up Olivia at this point, because Todrick's video is the literal gayest thing I've ever seen, much less a music video.
Carissa.
I'm with Todrick. Yeah.
Michael Barber.
Yep, I'm also with Todrick on this one.
I will go along with it. I will say I love this song. I love this video. Todrick himself is quite problematic currently, as I think most people know. I do love that. Obviously, he's a man of color and he's out and very proud. I will say this for the video. The choreography is sick, and it's got so much energy. I do wish there was a little bit more content to it. I think it's still a fairly simple video in some ways, not the dancing, but the video itself. But I'm moving it forward. It's a great video, and it's an amazing gay anthem. So next, it's Cher, If I Could Turn Back Time versus AB Soto's Cha Cha Bitch, Michael Barber.
This is an easy Cher for me.
All right, Cher and Cher alike. Curtis Creekmore.
Yeah, this isn't even like a contest, because I had never heard of Cha Cha Bitch before we did this. I also hadn't heard of Fast Slow Disco, but like, that was more of a difficult choice for me than this one is. Like, Turn Back Time is a gay anthem. Cha Cha Bitch is a cool little song. And no, it still goes to Cher.
Carissa?
I just love the jumpsuits. I'm sticking with Cha Cha Bitch, but I'm fine with Cher. Because she is stunning. Like, I will say her outfit like rivals everything that he wears in his video.
That's true. It's true. And I love every outfit that he's wearing in this video. But I also will give it to Cher. Fun fact about Cha Cha Bitch, though. RuPaul did a cover of the song with AB Soto, and you can find it. And she's got verses in it. And I think it's actually better than his original. It's really fun. And if you haven't listened to it, I encourage you to. And speaking of RuPaul, the last matchup in our Lead Aid is Rebels The Village versus RuPaul's Geronimo. I'm going to give it to Carissa first.
I'm gonna go with RuPaul just because of the quibble that, I like. It's a very gay video with like zero pretense. It's just like gay. I'm gonna go to Curtis.
So I would like to argue that, because I didn't get to in the first round. When I watched Geronimo, is it a fun video? Yes. Is it sexy? Yes. Is it a man shaking his ass and nether regions in front of a camera? Yes. Does that necessarily make it gay? I'm not totally sure. Like, in a sense, yes. I mean, obviously gay people like to watch it, but is it gay from that perspective? I don't know. It has a drag queen in it. RuPaul is an ultimate drag icon, especially right now. Like, that's hard to argue, but I have to go back to The Village being so meaningful and important. Mm-hmm. And that's why I vote for The Village to move forward.
Michael?
Yeah, this one's also an easy one for me. The Village. I feel like we all, described it as something that we felt profoundly, and that really says something. And
Mm.
I really like that it's so different again from everything else on this list, and I want to respect that. And also, it's just, again, song wise, just something so beautiful. Like Geronimo is, very straightforward in your face and plain. The Village is complex and thoughtful, and just makes you feel and think.
And you feel free to hate me on this. That's fine. It's still going to go to the tiebreaker, though. I think. Does that go to you, Carissa?
Nope.
No,
Come on.
it's Michael's.
Okay, good. Okay, fine. So that's not going to get me any angry votes. I'm going to throw my weight behind Geronimo for 2 reasons. Number one, it satisfies the Go-Go Boy entry that I think is important to have in this bracket. I was glad that I didn't have to put Caswell's ice cream truck on here, which was frequently mentioned as, oh, it's such a gay video. It is basically just a bunch of guys grinding in their underwear, but it's not a great song. I like some Caswell songs. I don't particularly care for that one. It is his hottest video, though. So Geronimo ticks off Go-Go Boy for me. And
I miss Go-Go Boys. Yeah, you just reminded me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And everything you're saying about Rabble is right. It's just, to me, we're comparing kumquats to apples. Like, it's so, like you said, that it's a good thing that it's so different. And to me, it's just like if we were doing a bracket of important message videos, Final Four, no question. But that is not the way I interpreted this list. And again, it's completely valid the way that you interpreted. Nobody did anything wrong. I'm not knocking the choice. But if these are personal choices, for me, it is not a video that I would put in my top 4 gayest music videos. And I'm going to say that I suspect our listeners are going to be like, what is it with this video? Like, that no one has ever heard of, that is incredibly depressing. Like, that is not what I signed up for with this. And so I'm speaking on my behalf. I can't speak for the listeners. Maybe all of them are like, yeah, fuck you, Eric. Good for you. The Village should continue to the Final Four. But for that reason, I'm voting for Geronimo over it. Even though I agree that the Village is a better music video in and of itself than Geronimo. But in terms of its gayness, I'm giving the nod to Geronimo. But that makes it a tie. Michael, I'm assuming you're putting forth the Village.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that leaves us with the final 4. Janelle Monáe's Pink versus Todrick Hall's Nails, Hair, Hips, Heels versus Cher's If I Could Turn Back Time and Rabble's The Village. We're going to go to Todrick versus Janelle first. This should get interesting. Let's go with Carissa.
So I'm going to surprise you all. I'm going with Todrick here because as much as I love the Janelle Monáe video, ultimately it isn't super queer to me as much as it can also be read as a feminist anthem. Because it is very much a feminist anthem. And it also has some bits about lady love, but it's also like, ladies, love yourself. And that to me isn't gay. That's feminist. So I'm gonna give it to Todrick and his army of dancers in like a dance, like very representative dancers, but all in black with like the mixed heels and the fans and the shablams. Like, this song is probably one of the more recent ones on this list, but it is a bop. He updated it for these times. It's masks, scrubs, soap, gloves, something like that. It is great. And the video for that is great because everybody is distance and like sent in zooms, and it's awesome. So watch it. And it's a bop. And I saw him perform this in Denver at Pride last year, right after Evie on the main stage. And it was kind of everything. And we didn't get Pride this year. So like last year's Pride is even bigger in my mind. So I give it to Todrick over Janelle here, but this is a tough one.
It is. Curtis.
This is a really tough one. And for the same reasons, like Janelle's song is female empowerment with lesbian undertones. Like there's definitely some woman on woman love throughout that video, and it's beautiful and it's great. But Todrick's video is a ton of men, people who identify as men, people who look like men, who are effeminate. And as someone who grew up as the kid who was constantly asked if he was gay because he was an effeminate child, this video speaks to me. Like, that's what I wish I could have had as a kid. And that's the gayest video to me.
Michael Barber.
Yeah, also same sentiment, like very tough choice. I also went with Todrick just because from, the very opening scene with the giant pink triangle to the very last second, it is just nonstop one gay thing after the next, like not just, nail, hair, heels, hips, like whatever it is. They're like fans, death drops. It's just everything a gay man could ever want. It's just like gay perfection.
Throw shade for me, shade for me, shade. Yes, I'll give it to Todrick too. And I think this is a really intense matchup, and I think it's worthy Final Four. So that said, we're going to advance Todrick to the finale. Cher, I Could Turn Back Time versus Rabble the Village. By the way, am I saying that right? It is Rabble?
I'm not sure. I thought it was Rabel, but I really don't know, to be honest.
Well, I
love how you
apologize.
waited until the finals before you asked that question.
Exactly. Well, I did just say throw shade for me, shade for me, shade. So I feel like I set that up. All right, I'm going to give it to Carissa first.
I'm going to go with Cher on a Navy boat full of seamen.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to Michael.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Village on this one. It moves me.
And I'm going to go to Curtis.
You did this on purpose. Yeah, I'm sticking with the Village. It means more, and it is okay. So we didn't talk about this. Trans does not equal gay.
No, it doesn't.
But trans equals LGBT. We are all one community, and we are all one family, and we have to protect each other. And if we had an episode that was the most trans music video, the list would be horribly short, and no one would know most of what was out there. So to say that The Village isn't a gay music video, or that's why it shouldn't move forward, I disagree, because we have, like, this is our community, this is our struggle, it's our fight. And to me, The Village is more meaningful. It's more representative of the struggle and the experience, even if you don't call it a struggle, the experience of the LGBT community, than Cher on a boat with a whole bunch of men who, some of whom may be gay.
So I would not have picked either of these two songs to be in the Final Four. And I would have been completely fine with Cher going out in like round two. And I think I probably had her going out in round two, because I'd like, yes, it deserves representation on the bracket. Early out's fine with me, but we have to pay homage to Cher. Again, I don't disagree with any of the points you're making about the trans experience and it being important to be represented, but this is in our Final Four already. I feel like it has been paid homage to, it has been taken seriously. I'm going to say something and you're probably going to get mad at me, so I'm sorry for this, but I'm going to say it. I think the two of you have a very close relationship with this song because of your experience rehearsing it with the chorus that is outsized for most people. That's my personal opinion on this. You can tell me that I'm an ignorant bitch.
Do I not on a daily basis already?
You do. I think, like, we talk about recency bias. I think this one for you guys is deeply, deeply personal. And the thing is, with the minisodes, it's all personal because they're all our choices, right? They're all our picks. So, and that's why I think we've run into ties in this way more than we do in the regular episodes, which are determined by our listeners. I am going to give it to Cher, even though I don't think Cher should be in the final two, but nor do I think that Rabble should be in the final two, because it's a song that most people have never heard of. I don't even know how to pronounce the artist. It's a song that, like, a video. When I think of gayest music videos, like, for me, again, I'm thinking of when I was looking at my own personal rubric for this, it was things that were proud, that were like talking about taking your power, being out and unapologetic in your sexuality. And you could argue that Rabble's The Village is about that, but it has such a pale over it, and it is depressing to me, which is why, again, apples to kumquats. It's a great video, and I love it, and I'm so glad that you put it into my universe. But it's not something that I think should be winning a Gayest music video podcast debate. If we put it into the final two, I think people would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Honestly, I really think that. I genuinely do.
I would like to challenge you and have you describe Turn Back Time in the way that you just like describe it in the way that you said you like those criteria. How is that any of those things?
It's not. All of the videos that I would have described in that got knocked out in early rounds.
Gotcha.
And I'm okay with that. But to me, this one is so out of left field. And again, I swear to you, because both of you guys put it on your lists, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm not knocking either one of you for putting on the list. It totally deserves to be discussed, and I'm so glad that we did. But a final two pick for this list, I don't get it. I just don't.
So when we were doing our research, because we did individual research, I was very adamant that Michael like did not tell me what he was picking, what was on his list or anything, because I didn't want to be unfair. I wanted to come to this with a like separate list, and you can look at our original lists and know that they were different. And this one, yes, we were introduced to it through the chorus, but when I was doing my research, I can only speak for myself. This was on the list. If you type in Gayest music video, this shows up. It's not something that just because we knew it from the chorus, that's why we added it. Like, this is a known video in the LGBT universe that, like, that's not the reason that I added it specifically or personally. It's just I took it to where I did. Like, ultimately, it comes down to you again, because, you know, you're at the tiebreaker, or the tiebreaker is to you. So you get to make the decision. But that's I don't. And I don't think you're telling me that I should feel bad for putting it here.
Yeah, you should not.
I don't, because it's an amazing video. And yes, it's sad. And yes, it's hard. And yes, you should fucking watch it. Stop this podcast for a minute and go watch it now. In case you haven't already, come back to us, please. But watch it because it's so good. I'm fine with Cher moving forward, but The Village is one of the best, maybe it's not the gayest music video, but it is one of the best gay music videos that's out there.
I just want to also add really quickly, like, when I think of, for me, what I want to see is the gayest music video, I want something that just not is just like showing the fabulousness and the sparkle of being gay, but also shows like the difficult part, that shows the struggle. Like, that's a big part of what it means to be gay. And this video does it so much better than any other video in this bracket. So that's why I had it in the final two.
Absolutely. And you are completely correct that is a big part of the struggle. And this is where it comes down to that personal element, right? Because I don't want to live in the negativity and the darkness. Like, and this is about different people's journeys, right? Please, Michael, especially, I hope you don't feel that I'm invalidating anything that you've been saying here.
No, I don't feel that way. I still fucking love Cher. It's Cher. But I just feel like I would rather select something that's beautiful, meaningful, that like moves you over something that's just a good bop.
I mean, my argument for this is it comes back, like, I get the T under the LGBTQ umbrella, but if we're talking about the LGBTQ umbrella, I'm bringing back Tegan and Sarah. Like, their videos do not scream gay. I'm looking for glitter. I'm looking for disco balls. I'm looking for people in black cat suits doing a choreographed dance with fans followed by shablams. Like, this is, you know, like, that's what I think of as gay. And if we're talking about LGBTQ representative, you know, videos, this one is stunning. This is amazing. It's very effective filmmaking in a very small amount of time. It ticks a lot of boxes outside of this bracket, you know? I'm just focusing on the G, like the gay, that part of it. And that's where I just come back to, I guess, the Cher piece, because it's closer to the glitter and the, you know, and I also see Cher in this bracket at this point as kind of being representative of probably the Olivia Newton-John, probably the Madonna videos, like those other ones that kind of went out earlier, but are all kind of the same piece.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm finding this very challenging. And I have to say that if we had a stronger candidate up against The Village, then I would feel better about dismissing The Village at this point. But I'm actually going to do something shocking and throw my vote to The Village for final two with the saying that I don't honestly believe that it should be in the final two of this category. Curtis made a good point. If we were doing a thing on just gay music videos, like music videos featuring the gay experience, 100% should this be on there. That's not how I interpret it, but everybody interpreted this differently. I didn't give you rules, right? I didn't say it's got to be fabulous. It has to be hair flips and woo and tongue pops and glitter and sexy men. And you interpret it in a different way. I think that the Village is ultimately a better video than Cher. I'm saying that, and I don't even literally. I don't agree with that.
Eric, that's the beauty of it, because you didn't give us rules. You said you told us what are the gayest music videos. Like that was the prompt,
right?
And that is so unbelievably broad that we all took it in multiple different directions, and that's what makes this conversation so difficult, because we are comparing multiple different fruits, literally, to each other.
Several many fruits.
But that's what makes it good. That's what makes it interesting. That's what, there's no love lost here. I think all of these videos made it for a reason.
For sure.
It really is like, which direction do we want to come at this from?
Right. And I think, thank you, because I was really wavering there in a moment and being like, I don't think like objectively Cher is gayer than Rabbles the Village, but I do think Cher is gayer than Rabbles the Village. Like, Cher may be a straight woman, but she's fucking Cher. Like, I'm sorry, I feel like Judas. I never should have turned my back on her.
Eric, no one's gonna get mad at you for putting Cher in the final two.
You misspoke, Eric. You said she's fucking Cher, bitch.
She's fucking Cher, bitch. So it's one of those things. I'm not worried about people being mad at me. Like, people can have opinions, and that's great, and that's fine. Like, I want to make sure that my panelists, who are also my friends, do not think that I am being dismissive of their entries to this, to their viewpoints on this. I cherish their insight. I think they did a wonderful job bringing this to our attention, and I'm so glad that we're talking about it as thoroughly as we do. I certainly don't want anyone who is trans listening to this and being like, fuck my life, right? Thanks, Eric. Like, that is not at all what I'm saying. I 100% stand by my trans brothers and sisters. I'm just, my question, of course, and Carissa does too, like Avi. I just think we're wrestling with, does this video fit the brief from our interpretation? And my final ruling on this is, for me, I don't think it is a gayer video, even if it is about a specific LGBT experience, than Cher, who just by her very din of being is gay. Cher and semen.
And that's how we got Chaz.
And that's how we got Chaz Bono.
Right?
Bringing it back to the trans experience.
Yeah. And also, like, such a gift to the community.
Such a gift. So with that, I am going to put Cher through, because I'm the tiebreaker here. So the final two are Todrick Hall's Nails, Hair, Hip, Heels versus Cher's If I Could Turn Back Time. I'm going to go to Curtis first.
Do you have to?
I do.
Like, I think we all have to bless it like Queen Elizabeth with the sword, but Nails, Hair, Hips, Heels is literally the gayest video. It is. Have you seen it? You should go watch it right now. It has nails, it has hair, it has hips, it has heels, it has fans, it has shablams. And if you don't know what that is, it's where you kick your leg out and bend the other one and your whole body hits the fucking floor. That's a shablam. It has those. It has near 30, maybe 40 dancers who are very fucking talented. It is it is an homage to the gay experience. It is exactly what you need and want it to be. It is the gayest music video. I'm Curtis Creekmore, and I am running for president.
Look over there. Michael Barber.
So I actually got to watch Curtis Creekmore watch this video for the very first time. I had already seen it. So it was one of those delightful experiences where you know what's going to happen. And I just watched his little gay boy eyes light up more, even more sparkle. And by the end, he was yassing and oh my godding, and he was just like living for it. And I was like, yes, this is what it's meant to be. It is hands down the gayest video I've ever seen. It just is nonstop gay explosion, top to bottom. Tops and bottoms.
All right, Carissa.
Everyone in that video has amazing hair. It is so good. And also, we haven't really touched on how good the song is. The song is a fucking bop. And it has lines like, I don't walk, I strut. You know, I don't play, I slay. It's very much like it felt like an anthem last summer. Like kind of the moment, but I feel like it has staying power. I mean, we've got the version for our times, mask scrub, soap, gloves. I don't know. Somebody watch it.
The words.
Yeah, so many words. But like, I think it has lasting power. I think it's fun. It's cool. It's got all of the stuff that you want from a gay video for me. So
I will just say this. Pussy, pussy, puss, give me cunt, 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 bitch. I think that's really that's all you need to know about that song. It's like, I'm sold. Just Michael describing Curtis watching it had me literally putting my hand up in a gay finger wag. And that's not a joke. Like, I did that. So I think it's unanimous. That is our victor. It is Todrick Hall's Nails, Hair, Hips, Heels. I hope you all take a moment, put it on right now, and strut around your house in or out of your Andrew Christians and in or out of your heels. Thank you for listening to us. This got much more serious and much more intense than I was expecting it to. And Minnesota is supposed to be kind of a frivolous little novelty item, but we got into it, folks. We were having some tough conversations. So I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I want to thank my panelists. Thank you all for being here with me today. Thank you for your excellent suggestions and your impassioned pleas. Thank you to our listeners. If you have not yet and you enjoy our podcast, please go and rate us on Apple Podcasts. Please consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can get all kinds of exclusive content like warm-ups and episodes you won't listen to anywhere else. Please like and share this, subscribe to us, and go to thegreatpopculturedebate.com to see what polls are open for your votes now. One last thing. This is a highly personal topic. So if there are music videos that you think are super gay and we did not talk about them here, we want to hear from you. Please find us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Go to our website, leave a comment. We'll add them all to the playlist that's on YouTube. We want to proliferate people viewing these. We are about the LGBT experience, all of the LGBT experience, and we want to amplify. So please reach out to us with your thoughts. You guys are a big part of this podcast. We want to hear from you. So thank you to everyone. Pussy, puss, puss. Give me cunt, 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 bitch. Have a great night.